Well, welcome to another edition of Colt Hard Facts. Today we're going to talk about transportation. There's been a lot of questions recently regarding especially the high school bus cut. So here's our first Colt Hard Fact.
My name's Kay Skarbowski and I'm in 10th grade, and I wanted to know how the district is saving money on transportation by cutting high school busing. Also, don't you still have to run all the routes to pick up the middle school students?
Yes, there's a lot of misconceptions about the high school busing cut, and I thought I would take a minute to clarify on some graphs exactly how this has worked. And I'll start by making a rectangle, and we'll call this our school district. As of course you know, it's 119 square miles. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some dots on here, and each one of these dots represents one of our high school or middle school students. Of course, if I were to make enough dots for the entire school district, it would be over 2,800 dots. But for this, I'll just make a few dots to try to show approximate density of our population here in our school district. Now this is high school and middle school prior to January 1st. Of course you know that once January 1st roll around, we cut our high school buses. And so what it looked like after January 1st is we still have the 119 square mile school district, but the students are more spread out, because instead of having high school and middle school, it's now just middle school students. Now, for this right here, we used 25 school buses on 25 unique routes. In other words, for the 119 square miles, we used 25 buses to transport our middle school and high school students prior to January 1st. After January 1st, with less students, we didn't need to have as many routes. So instead of having the 25 routes, we went to 16 routes. So we are driving 9 fewer routes for the middle school than we did when it was middle school and high school. That is how money was saved.
My name is Jake Cavalier and I'm a senior at Cloverleaf. If you have less than half of the students to transport, why aren't you using less than half of the buses? The buses don't seem to be as full as they used to be.
Yes, I have heard that people have the perception, and sometimes it's true, that our buses aren't quite as full as they were when we transported middle school and high school. And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one is our middle school students, as we know, are eligible to take the bus. Many of these students have older siblings who are in the high school. And so the parents have to transport these students, but these students are eligible to take the bus. So rather than send their middle school student on the bus, they simply take their high school student and their middle school student to school, which of course is a parent's prerogative, and I'd understand why they'd want to do that. However, I still have to have seats on the bus for these students available, even if they choose to ride to school with their parents. And here's the other thing. I have 16 buses here and 25 buses here. The question is, since I have less than half the number of students riding the bus, why wouldn't I have less than half the number of bus routes? And the reason for that is simple. It's this number right here. We have 119 square miles. If we were to divide 119 square miles into only 12 routes, our students would sometimes spend 2 hours or more every morning and every afternoon on the school bus. That's just not practical. That's the reason you see some empty seats. We're not quite as efficient as we once were.
Hi, I'm Andrew Jerry. I'm in 10th grade at Cloverleaf High School, and I wanted to know, how much is the district saving on busing?
Yes, this has been another hot button question that people have asked, and here is the answer. We have to consider a few things when calculating the savings. The first is personnel costs. With fewer routes, we encounter less personnel costs for the drivers that are driving those routes. Plus, we have to factor in maintenance on the bus because we're saving money by not having as much maintenance, by not driving the buses as much. And of course, a big expense that we're saving is fuel costs. Calculating all of those things together for the remainder of the 2012-13 school year, we are saving $63,000. If we continue to not have high school transportation next year in the 2013 and 14 school year, we will save an additional $111,000.
Hi, I'm Timmy Harrell. I'm a 10th grader at Cloverleaf High School, and I was wondering if we'll get busing back if the levy passes.
Yes, this is a question I'm most often asked, and the Board of Education was very upfront with its residents about the fact that should the last levy fail, they had no other choice but to cut transportation at the high school level. They have been equally upfront about the fact that should our May levy pass, busing will absolutely be reinstituted at the high school level for next school year. That being said, the board fully understands that this, in such a vast district, has been quite a burden on our students and parents. We thank you for your patience as we've worked out the kinks in the process, but we're hopeful that next year we'll be able to bring back high school transportation. Thank you.